Welcome to my kitchen. I'm just fixing this a little bit so you can see a little bit better. It is getting ready to be supper time. I don't know what you guys are having tonight, but we are going to have some beef tips with baby potatoes and some fresh garden corn that was frozen. I mean, it is fresh, but I froze it from last season. So it's last year's corn, and it's actually, I was trying to thaw it out, but we're gonna break that up a little bit here. There we go. And we're gonna season that with some French onion soup mix, and we are also going to use a little bit of, let me find it, crushed peppercorn and garlic. It's one of my husband's favorites. So we're gonna get started here. I've already started chunking my meat. What I did was I bought, and I like to share this, you need to check your meat section for quick sale or reduced prices, because the meat is, you know, this meat needed to be sold by tomorrow. So they had it reduced. And I got a 2-pound roast, and it's boneless eye of round roast for $6.88. So a good deal on that. I've already started chunking it up. I have a couple more pieces here that I just want to chunk up, and I'm just taking my chef's knife and I am chunking this up into bite-size chunks, tossing it into my bowl. And since my cabinet is kind of small, I just have my bowl sitting there. And I have our plastic mixing bowl with my meat chunked up in there. Move this out. The button, don't want to do that. Get this out of the way so you guys can see. So I just have this all chunked up in here. I'm going to grab one of my mix-in scrapers, one of my large mix-in scrapers. And we're going to put a couple of tablespoons of our French onion soup mix. Now, this was one of our taste buds seasonings that we no longer carry taste buds, but it's one of our seasonings. But you could use any French onion soup mix that you wanted, or any seasoning that you wanted. That wasn't quite 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of our crushed peppercorn and garlic. Now, what I like to share with our seasonings is our lids have 2 lines in them. And if you fill to the first line, it's 1 tablespoon. Fill to the second line, it's 2 tablespoons. So if you don't have a measuring spoon, you can do that. So I'm just going to toss a tablespoon in there. And of course, we want to grab our salt and pepper. And I'm going to salt just a couple from our grinder, and a little bit of pepper. Okay, so I'm going to mix this all in here, mix this all up. We're going to cook all of this together in our Deluxe Multicooker on a pressure cooker setting. It's going to pull all the juices into our potatoes and our green beans and our meat, of course. So I coated the meat. I'm just going to toss that into our inner pot here. There's nothing in there. I haven't put anything in there yet. I'm going to toss that in there. And if there's any leftover seasoning, that's okay, because I have my potatoes, and I've just chunked them as well. If I wanted to be fancy, I could have used our decorative food cutter. There we go, decorative food cutter. But I wasn't worried about what they look like. I just wanted them all about the same size. So we're going to put another couple of tablespoons of the French onion in here, and another tablespoon of the crushed peppercorn and garlic. And with the potatoes, I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil so that the seasonings stick to the potatoes. Just a little bit of olive oil, not a lot, just enough. And of course our salt and pepper. mix all that up. Now this is also a good way to mix it up if you're going to roast potatoes in the air fryer or in the oven. But you can see that those are all coated. I'm just going to toss those in there with the meat. Lastly, we're going to do our green beans. So I'm going to toss my green beans in there. I'm going to pour the last bit of the French onion in here that I have. That was my last one too. And then, of course, a little bit more crushed peppercorn and garlic. And I forgot the most important part for this, bacon. Who doesn't love bacon with their green beans? And I just happened to, another deal I got, they had a bunch of them on sale for $1 a bag. I bought them all, put them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. So we're going to toss just a little bit of bacon bits in here. And give this a toss with our mix and scraper. And this, you can make this with anything that you have in your cabinets. I mean, you could do this with corn, you could do it with green beans, you could do it with peas. You could do it with any kind of potatoes if you have russet potatoes at home. I just happen to like the baby potatoes. And the ones we're using tonight are the petite medley. I just happen to like those. Those are, there's purple potatoes and red and white potatoes in there. So I'm going to toss that in there. And then I'm going to take my mix and scraper and just kind of move all this around a little bit. So it's all mixed up. A nice pot of veggies and meat. Toss this back into here. And we're going to add a cup of beef broth. Now the French onion soup will help thicken it and keep it so it's not runny, but it's also going to allow the moisture to go in. And you know what? I think I'm going to do 2 cups because I put quite a bit of potatoes in there. So we're going to do 2 cups of broth. We're just going to pour that in there. Now, this is the fun part. We're going to set it and let it cook. So we're going to put the lid on our multi-cooker. We are going to, so you guys can see here, we're going to turn it to the beef setting. So there are 16 settings on here. We're going to turn it to the beef and pork setting. It says 35 minutes. I'm good with 35 minutes on it. So we're going to leave it at 35 minutes. We're not going to delay it. So if I wanted to, if I had set this for this morning, I could delay it for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, and let it cook. Let it delay and then cook. So it would be done when it's ready. So this is such a great tool for working people that need to make their meal ahead of time. You know, when I worked in Indianapolis, which for those of you that don't know, that's about a 2-hour drive for me every day, one way. And I would get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning so that I could leave to go to work, and I would get my meal ready. So because I didn't get home till 7 o'clock at night, I didn't want to cook at 7 o'clock at night. So this is a great way to, you can set it, let it go. It will delay and it will keep the food warm up to 4 hours after you get it done. So I have it, I don't want to delay it, but I could delay it if I wanted to. So I'm going to press the button not to delay it. And then I'm going to, it's going to keep it warm for an hour, which it won't need to because when it gets done, it'll be time to eat and we'll eat supper. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it, just in case I don't catch it when it gets done and we're doing something, whether my husband's getting home later or if I'm in the middle of taking care of something on the computer or something. That way I have a little bit of leeway. So we'll leave it at an hour. We're going to turn this on. You're going to hold it and so it says run. It's going to preheat. It's It's going to take about 7 to 8 minutes to preheat, and then it's going to run for 35 minutes and cook. And it's going to pressurize, and it's going to suck all that juice and all those flavors into the meat and the potatoes and the green beans. And I'm going to come back in about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on how long it takes to preheat. And I'm going to share with you what it looks like. And I'm going to have it on a nice platter so you guys can see. I'll dump it out on a platter. I'm going to let you guys see what it looks like coming out of this. But I'm going to dump it on a platter because it's going to be a great presentation. So even though it's just my husband and I, it's going to look like I cooked over the stove all day for him. He's going to love it. So I'll see you guys soon, and I will share with you, and I lost my mouse, but that's okay. I will share with you what it looks like. Happy cooking.